Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, it's great to have you. And after Bitcoin reached a new high of $12,200, it fell almost $2,000 to the downside. And there's already people saying that this is the next cryptocurrency crash. The top is in for Bitcoin and we are heading back down to new lows. Now, I think that this is complete and utter nonsense, and I'm going to explain exactly why in this video. But if you guys remember from the last video that I did on Bitcoin, we talked about where support and resistance would be for Bitcoin. And for resistance, we said the next immediate main level of resistance would be this previous top of $12,000. Now, if we look over to where Bitcoin rejected last night, it was conveniently located right at this $12,000 resistance level. There's nothing new there. We already talked about it, and we could definitely see this coming. Now, we continue to talk about where support would be for Bitcoin, and the main level that we talked about, our strongest level of support, was this previous form of resistance, not once, not twice, but 3 separate swing times that we have used. Now, once we broke above this, we already tested this on a daily candle, or at least on a 4-hour candle, that this was going to be support. So last night when we fell, we touched our main form of resistance and then fell to our main form of support. I mean, there is nothing new about this. This is a completely textbook and classical move for Bitcoin. And if you guys would have, watched the previous videos, this is something that we have already talked about. So let's continue to talk about where Bitcoin can move from here. Is this truly the top? And if there's any warning signs that we should see, or is this just another pullback? So if that sounds interesting, go and stick around for the entire duration of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. So again, guys, I want to reiterate that I do not think that this is the top for Bitcoin. I think that if we, again, have this idea that this is a parallel channel, one, this would be in tune to almost exactly on the heart line, maybe just slightly below it. If you guys don't know what the heart line of a channel is, so we have our resistance up top, our support down below, and in the middle of a channel, there's something called a heart line that goes right through. And we see this be used as either support or resistance based off of where the asset is on the chart. So if it's below it, the heart line is going to be resistance. If it's above it, then the heart line is going to be used as support. And I think, again, this is the idea that the heart line was being used as resistance. But on top of that, I mean, we just have a previous top here. It's going to be plain textbook, class like A, bearish form of resistance. So when this happened, it's nothing new. And this is just a pullback. And the fact that this pulled back right to support is beautiful. Now, something I want to talk about is the level of buying pressure that we had in here. Bitcoin has already retraced from this, almost, what was it? From just over, $12,200 almost, all the way back down to 10,500. And we're already currently back up to 11,100 and almost 50. So we're already almost 40% of the way retraced on Bitcoin, pushing our way back up to a 50% retracement within the first day of this so-called dump. So when Bitcoin is continuing up here, I think that this is simply just a pullback. We've had worse pullbacks than this percentage-wise in this run-up of this year already. If we look over here, we can see some of these, big bearish candles. Now, this was a pretty big daily candle, but it was it's nothing that we haven't seen before. In fact, if we were to look at what we've seen in the past of some of these crazy retraces in a continuation of the way up, I mean, this pales in comparison to some of the things that we've seen, whether that be from 2018, 2019, or even 2017. I mean, in 2017, if we're comparing it and we really do think that this is the next cryptocurrency run, then this absolutely pales in comparison to some of the volatility that we had over here on a daily time frame. I mean, we had dumps all the way from almost 8,000 back down to the low 5,000s. I mean, these are extremely large chunks. Now, this wasn't done in a day, this was done in a couple days, but again, the fact that we have already seen retracement, again, almost a 40% retracement, or pushing 50 now, again, this pales in comparison to some of the stuff that we have seen over the course of 2017, 18, and 19. This is a normal thing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a volatile asset, and we all should know that by now, just by being around and being in it. There was a lot of selling pressure, but I think the most important thing to recognize that there was less selling pressure than there was buying pressure on the way up. So there was more buying volume on the way up over in here than there was in selling pressure so far. So that is just a very good sign in my opinion. And the fact that we are already bouncing so strong off of support does not make me nervous at all. Now we can see that the MACD is starting to round off a little bit, and one of the things that someone asked in the Discord is that how do you know where to judge bearish divergence and bearish, swings in a parabolic run or in an uptrend, in a heavy bull market? How do you determine that? And my answer was basically, when you are in this parabolic uptrend, when you're in a bull market, one, you should be looking not to short it, but where to buy it. Instead of trying to sell the rips in a bull market, you're looking to buy the dips. And in a bear market, you're looking to sell the rips and not buy the dips. It's really that easy. And so what you want to do here, instead of, what I want to do, again, nothing I say is legal, financial, or tax advice in any way. What you want to do here, what I want to do here, is I'm not looking to try to just find the exact top and short it. If I'm looking for a short position, what I'm waiting for is maybe for this to come up, come over in here, show a lower swing high, show lower levels of bullish momentum on indicators and oscillators, start breaking support, again, swing back up again, another lower high, something like this. Then I'm starting to look in here and going, okay, maybe I'll jump in on this trend. It looks like the trend is reversing again and that the trend is no longer our friend, and maybe I'll look for something like that. But again, we don't even have a lower swing high on the RSI. We don't have that on the MACD yet. So there's nothing too crazy to look about over here. And that's kind of my answer of, instead of trying to play against the market, go with the market. And that's really just, again, the way that I'm playing this. And the way that I'm viewing this is that if I think that Bitcoin will ever, at any point, go back above $11,140, then right now, I guess it's an optimal buy. Now, at no point am I just going all in at this, but I will layer buys so long as Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency is below a means or a place where I think it can be above. So if I think Ethereum can go to $800 and it's at $400 or $500 right now, then I would buy, I would layer buys gradually over time onto that asset. Now, the reason why you don't all in is, there's a million reasons why you don't all in. But what this enables you to do is the dollar cost average. And if you think it's going to 800 and it's only at like 400 or 500, then obviously you believe your money is going to go up. Now, there's always the chance of you being wrong and losing your money, but for the time being, to not get too much into a fundamental lesson here, the area that Bitcoin is at right now, again, I don't see any heavy signs of bearish momentum. We bounced once again off of our strongest support, and we'll have to see what Bitcoin wants to do towards the end of this week, but I fully believe that Bitcoin is in an uptrend here, and I think that we are by the end of this month going to see a new high on Bitcoin over $12,200. Now, whether that's 13,000, whether that's 14,000, we're going to have to wait and find out. I'm not clairvoyant, but I can look at a chart and say that this is, fairly in an uptrend for this year so far. So it was great getting to see new highs last night. We had our first sell-off opportunity in quite a long time after quite the parabolic run-up. And something that I saw is that someone wanted me to, I saw someone going through Bitcoin and talking about how if you just look and zoom out from a monthly chart of where we're at, and people are just so beaten down and discouraged that, man, we just sold off so much. Look at Bitcoin. This is all doom and gloom. Heaven forbid we sell off from 12,000 to 11,000 after going all the way up from 5,000 all the way up. Again, $1,000 sell-off after $6,000 to the upside. It's not a bad trade-off. It's really not, in my opinion. Now, if this continues to get worse, then one thing could lead to another. But for the time being, again, guys, I think that there are so many people out here trying to be the one to predict the next big move and to call the next crash just to be like, I said so and everyone was wrong except for me. The odds are, when people try to do something like that, 99% of the chance, 99% of the time, they are going to just be wrong. And it is what I believe to be one of the least profitable ways to trade is to counter trade everything. So that is going to sum up this video. Hopefully you guys did find this helpful and insightful. If you guys have any questions or concerns, shoot me a message in the comment section down below. I would love to be able to get back to you guys. I love interacting with you guys down there. If you guys want to join the Discord, there's a link to that in the description down below as well. It's totally free. No strings attached, just kind of where my community resides. And last but not least, guys, drop a like and share the video if it did help you out and if you think it can help somebody else out. So again, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video.